Welcome to Tuesday, September 5th, City Council meeting. We don't have a lot on the agenda tonight, but what we do have is very important and meaningful. We are recording the meeting City of Madison YouTube channel, so you can view it tonight if you aren't here, and you can view it later if you so choose. So let's get started. Like all of our meetings, we stand, bow our heads, recite the Lord's Prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll get into tonight's business. Thank you.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Absolutely. Good evening, Council. Tevenoff.
Here.
Krebs.
Here.
Schaefer.
Here.
Dan DiTillo.
Here.
Lucy DiTillo. Chatham and Bartlett all have excused absences.
Okay, thank you. Council, have you had an opportunity to review the minutes from the last meeting, which is August the 24th? So we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I move we approve the minutes as submitted.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. And moving on, we have a couple of proclamations tonight. I'd like to first start with the Constitution Week proclamation. And Sally, I think were you here and others here for that? Come on up. Hi, how are you doing?
Do you go first or do I go first?
Go right ahead.
Are you sure?
First, and yes, and I will get prepared here to read the proclamation.
Okay, great. My name is Sally McWilliams. I'm the Vice Regent for the John Paul Chapter DAR and also their Constitution Week Committee Chairman. And as many of you know, the Daughters of the American Revolution's mission is historic preservation, education, and patriotism. Therefore, because the Constitution is the foundation of our democracy, DAR feels the signing of the Constitution on September 17th, 1787 should be commemorated and our rights of citizenship celebrated. Madison's John Paul Chapter thanks the City of Madison for this proclamation for the observance of Constitution Week, observed every year on September 17th to the 23rd. And we present this certificate to the city in appreciation of the many years a Constitution Week proclamation has been issued. We have also placed a flag code leaflet on council members' desks and encourage everyone to visit the Constitution Week display in the Madison Library, which goes up tomorrow. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you. Let me read this proclamation real quick. Whereas September 17th, 2023 marks the 236th anniversary of the signing of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. The celebration of the Constitution was started by the Daughters of the American Revolution in 1955,
I believe so.
1955, to commemorate America's most important documents. The Constitution of the United States of America, which is the source of our freedoms, established our national government and fundamental laws, and has protected and guaranteed certain basic rights to the citizens of the United States. In the more than 2 centuries since its ratification, the Constitution has served as an unparalleled engine for human progress and stands as a testament to the tenacity of Americans to now recognize National Senior Center Month proclamation. So Tanya, are you going to come up? And everybody is. Wow. You know what? Look at the energy in this room. The energy. And Tanya, please introduce our new senior coordinator, Marianne. Look at this energy. I love it.
So we did hire a part-time coordinator at the senior center. This is Mary Ann Moore, and we're excited to have her. And the seniors already love her. She's doing a great job. Do you want them to all come up here? Yeah. Come up here, guys.
Please
Where
come
there's
up.
room. Yeah. This is several of our friends from the senior center. We also have Dave Adams here with RSVP, and then Aaron with Lifetime Resources.
I will say that many of you, we played table tennis or ping pong a couple weeks ago. That was very fun.
They let you win, right?
I'm not sure there's a council person here that can beat the team over at the center and ping pong. But we should try. We should definitely try.
We'll take them on.
We should try it. That's right. Well, I Well, as we conclude the two proclamations, we'll move into our business for the night, and I'll turn it over to Joe.
Yes, this is ordinance number 2023-12, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, amending the personnel policies and procedures of the City of Madison Code to implement a parental leave policy. Whereas the Personnel Policies and Procedures Handbook for employees of the City of Madison does not include a parental leave policy. And whereas the City of Madison wishes to amend the current Personnel Policies and Procedures Handbook to establish a parental leave policy for all employees. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana as follows. Title III, Chapter 34, Ordinance 1995-20 of the City of Madison Code 2008-17 is hereby amended to add the following. City of Madison Parental Leave Policy. The City of Madison will provide a parental leave to eligible full-time employees upon birth or adoption of a minor child under 18. Paid parental leave is intended to give new parents additional flexibility and time to bond with their new child, adjust to their new family situation, and balance their professional obligations. Paid parental leave runs concurrently and in accordance with eligibility of the FMLA. Paid parental leave for primary caregiver, City of Madison will provide up to 160 hours of paid parental leave of the employee's regular straight-time weekly pay to eligible employees. Paid parental leave for non-primary caregivers, the City of Madison will provide up to 80 hours of paid parental leave at 100% of the employee's regular straight-time weekly pay to eligible employees. After paid parental leave is exhausted, the balance of FMLA leave may be compensated through the employee's accrued paid time off. Eligibility. Paid parental leave is available to all full-time benefit eligible employees who have been employed through the city for at least 12 months and have worked full-time during the 12 months preceding the birth or adoption of a child. Paid parental leave may only be taken following the birth of an employee's child, adoption of a minor child under 18, or for adoption. An individual who adopts a spouse's child is not eligible for parental leave. Human Resources is responsible for administering this policy and determining eligibility for parental leave. Paid parental leave is compensated at 100% of employees' regular straight-time weekly pay and is not on a bi-weekly or regular scheduled pay dates. Paid parental leave does not reduce an eligible employee's balance of any other paid leave such as sick, vacation, or holiday. Paid parental leave is a benefit of employment and will not be considered a negative factor in employment actions such as hiring, promotions, or disciplinary actions. Paid parental leave may be taken continuously or in 1 week increments within the first 6 months following the birth or adoption of the child. Parents who choose to take paid parental leave incrementally must consult with their supervisor and make a reasonable effort to schedule the incremental parental leave so as to not unduly disrupt the department's operations. As with other forms of paid leave, benefits will remain the same while the employee is on paid parental leave. For example, vacation and sick leave benefits will continue to accrue. The city will continue to pay its share of the cost of employee group health insurance, and the employee's share of the premium will continue to be deducted from the employee's pay. Similarly, all deductions from income will continue during the paid parental leave. The holiday will be paid as if the city recognized holiday occurs during the parental leave. The use of holiday pay, however, does not extend the length of the leave. Paid parental leave runs concurrently and in accordance with eligibility for FMLA. Any leave taken under this policy qualifies as FMLA. Leave will not be counted towards the 12 weeks of available FMLA in 12 months. Employees on paid parental leave and FMLA are ineligible to work alternative employment. If both parents are employed by the City of Madison, they may take paid parental leave concurrently or at separate times according to their preference. Paid parental leave is only available to an employee once in a 12-month period. Any unused paid parental leave will be forfeited at the end of the 6 months time frame. Upon termination or upon change in employment status to a position that is not eligible for benefits, unused paid parental leave will not be paid. Employees interested in taking paid parental leave must provide their supervisor in Human Resources with notice of anticipated leave at least 30 days before the proposed date or leave. Eligible employees may request additional time to extend their leave, subject to the employee's direct supervisor's approval. At any additional time may be compensated through the employee's accrued paid time off, or which would be sick, vacation, or earned compensatory time, good lord, or may be unpaid. Section 2, all existing employment policies, employment handbooks, and all other ordinance or parts of this ordinance in conflict with the other provisions of this ordinance is hereby repealed and replaced.
All right, this is on first reading, but Minnie will just give you a very, very quick synopsis, and then at the second reading, we'll have more commentary and public input on it.
Yeah, just briefly, the city clearly never had a maternity leave, paternity leave, family leave policy. Not sure why that is, but we just need to have one going forward. So we have crafted this. Jenna has done a ton of research with other cities, other communities, other companies, local companies, to find out what do people offer. It's all over the board. So some people offer 12 weeks paid. That's extremely generous, but we've landed where we think is in a good place that makes sense for our employees, or our employees whose spouses are having children or they're adopting children. We think it's a good policy. Hopefully you'll agree, and we are happy to discuss it at second reading.
Thank you, Minnie. All right, council, are there any reports, recommendations, or other business from standing or select committees that you'd like to report on today? Hearing none. Reports of city officials. Katie?
I believe, had
Oh,
Lucy been
was it?
present, she was going to talk
Sorry?
about their traffic committee meeting. Did you
Oh,
guys have
okay.
one scheduled? No, not yet? Okay.
We'll put a notice out when that does get scheduled.
Okay. Good evening, council. Just wanted to remind you about budget. The ordinance budget will be introduced at the next city council meeting on 9/19. The second reading and the public hearing will coincide, and there may be a scheduling conflict on 10/3 with the mayor's schedule, so that might be moved to 10/4, just to give you a heads up. We'll be contacting you with more information shortly. And then the final reading will take place on October the 17th, as all information needs to be entered into Gateway by November 1st. Open enrollment went well. We were able to add additional vision benefits for eyeglasses, contact lenses, and increase the dental max from $750 to $1,000. We also, out of necessity, increased short-term disability benefits from a max of $350 per week, or 60%, to a max of $1,000 per week, or 60% of current salary. These additional benefits are necessary, which aid in attracting new and retaining employees. And the overall increase for city benefits was 2.6%. So that's pretty amazing considering the cost of inflation at this time. We'd like to thank Apex, because Apex has done a great job in negotiating benefits with multiple providers. And there was also no additional cost to the employees' premiums for these benefits. I was hoping to print off your appropriation and fund reports, but they have all been emailed to you if you have any questions regarding those. Any questions?
Just from our budget meetings, there were some things that you and Mindy were going to look at and get back to us. Are we close to getting some feedback on those things?
I haven't.
Miss Mindy, are we close to receiving, there were some issues we talked about at our budget meetings that you were going to look at, come back to us?
So I've dropped some things in the share drive. The detail that you were wanting, there weren't very many, there was 5 or 6 things.
Right.
I think I have dropped everything in that you ask about, except the detail for the planning department's professional fees.
Okay.
I got that breakdown. Nicole was out on vacation last week, so I
Right.
got that from her today. I'm gonna put that in a little spreadsheet and I'll drop it in next to her budget. I updated the parks numbers that you wanted, revenue. You wanted a revenue comparison year over year.
Yeah.
So that is in there. The 2 calculations for police and streets, I have not updated those numbers yet. So I'm just working a little math, and I got yours, and I appreciate your the math you did for me. Yeah. But I think everything else is in there. I'll go back and take a look, and I was just dropping them in as I got them completed, so I haven't sent a note out to you yet.
Okay, thank you.
Have we gotten any more word from the state on, weren't we missing some budget estimates still from them?
I think everything is in. I went and pulled miscellaneous revenues and adjusted those numbers right before workshop, so I think everything's in.
Okay.
Yeah, and I tried to keep everything just under the estimate.
Any additional questions? Okay. Moving on, we do not have any bills on third or second reading, so now we'll turn it over to the floor. If there's any public comments for the mayor's office or city council, now would be the time. Come to the podium, state your name and address, and make your statement, please. Now to my favorite part of the meeting, the mayor's comments. I don't have a lot this week, other than that last weekend was great around the city of Madison. I want to thank the Salvation Army and all the volunteers associated with it for hosting yet another very, very good car show and entertainment Saturday night for the community. Music was fantastic, Madisonians as well as the Monarchs, and it was for a good cause. Salvation Army does so much for our community, and we're very proud of the partnership that we have with them to serve our community. We do have a public safety meeting next Tuesday, September the 12th at the #1 Firehouse. Primary purpose there is to talk about pedestrian safety, but we can certainly answer any other question you might have on the topic of public safety. Myself, Chief Wallace, Councilman Tevenall will be there to greet members of the community. Whether you live on the East End or across the entire community, please feel free to come. It's going to be an open forum, really to try to address some solutions for pedestrian safety, particularly on the East End because of all the traffic there. So we're working with NDOT and our engineers for some investments that we can make on the East End to make that corridor safer. At the next council meeting, we will also be having the John Minke Award presentation. That'll be at the next council meeting, which will be on September the 19th. Look in our news for the many ribbon cuttings that we'll be celebrating over the next couple of months. And one in particular will be this Sunday. I believe they're having a ribbon cutting for TJ Maxx, which opens this Sunday. It's amazing how fast the shops at Sunrise Crossing has been constructed and the business is open. Five Below opened a couple of months ago, which is performing very well. And now TJ Maxx and the other retailers will be following that. Earlier today at the City of Madison Redevelopment Commission, they approved additional funding for the 2023 PACE program. We are allocating another $100,000 to the PACE program so that we can have a fourth quarter application cycle. Based on the statistics for 2023, that should produce between $600,000 and $1 million of new investment. We're going to make sure that those dollars are allocated toward the most dilapidated, most needy projects that would be most impactful. But our leveraging ratio for 2023 is about 6 to 1. And for some of the really dilapidated projects, it's been as high as 11 to 1. So that's going to be a very good use of dollars. And I want to thank our redevelopment commission for funding additional monies, and that will probably put us in the approximately $3.5 to $4 million of historic preservation investment in 2023 alone. So that program is doing phenomenally well. We saw some examples today of several properties that have been rehabilitated through the PACE program, and some of them are just absolutely remarkable transformations. So the community is working really hard to improve and revitalize their neighborhoods. So we're grateful for that. That's all I have for tonight. Council, anything you want to add? Our next meeting will be Tuesday, September 19th.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Seconded?
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all for being here tonight. Really appreciate it.